Alright guys, Friday afternoon, and this weekend's going to be great. I got a good feeling about this slate of games. I got a good feeling about the competitive level that some of these games could possibly have, and I think it's going to be very entertaining as somebody who doesn't have that big of a vested interest in who wins and loses. So, let's start things off. First off, last week, 1-3, 1 confidence point out of a possible 10, so bad start. I need to make a comeback. I need to make a big comeback. So, what are we going to start off with? We got Arizona and New Orleans. In New Orleans. This is a good one. I think both NFC games are going to be particularly entertaining, and I think both teams, obviously they're fairly similar. They both have suspect defenses, although Arizona has a much worse defense than New Orleans. They both pass the ball extremely well, although the Saints do have the all-around better offense. And New Orleans is one of the last few teams in this league that can get a significant boost in play from playing at home. There are very few places left in the league where home field advantage really counts, and I think this is one of those instances. So, obviously you got, Kurt Warner coming off really a perfect game. He played pretty much perfectly against Green Bay, and you wonder, he's 38 years old. You kind of sort of have to ask yourself, can he do that again? And it's much more of a question mark for him than a guy like Drew Brees, who was in his prime, and, well, early Doucette have another good game, because they needed early Doucette to beat Green Bay. You wonder if they're going to be able to force 3 turnovers, or 4, whatever it was they got against Green Bay. And as poorly as their defense played, they needed those turnovers desperately to eke out that win, and they did get it. And right now, I don't trust Neil Rackers in a clutch situation after he, shanked what would have been the game-winning field goal against the Packers. And right now, if he has to make a big kick in this game, I don't trust him at all. So, got to put that out there as well. New Orleans well-rested, obviously on a 3-game losing streak, so I'm a little worried about that. But this is just the better team. The Saints are just better. And at the end of the day, I'm going to pick the Saints. I'm going to say New Orleans 33, Arizona 17. I don't think it's going to be all that close. I got a good feeling about the Saints running away with this one. I think it's going to go kind of like the Saints-Patriots game did. And then later that night, we got the Baltimore Ravens traveling to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Alright, where do you start with this one? I mean, Ray Rice just single-handedly dethroned the Patriots, ended their decade of dominance. So we know what he can do. We've known what he can do all year, but he is a smaller guy, and you do wonder, is he starting to wear out because he's had to take on a fairly big load this year? You look at the cornerbacks that the Ravens have. They're not all that good. They depend on their pass rush pretty much entirely for their pass defense. I don't really trust their corners. I do like their safeties, I don't really like their corners. But the number one thing about this game is Joe Flacco. And Flacco, what can I say? I mean, yeah, he beat the Patriots, but, the Ravens are in a position where they can win games without getting great play from their quarterback. But regardless, they're going to need Flacco to make a lot of plays in this game. Not just a few. He's going to have to make a lot, and I don't think he's going to do it. So with that in mind, I am going to take Indianapolis. I'm going to say 27-17. Maybe 27-13. Something like that. I'm going to say 27-13 in favor of the Colts. And remember, this is a fairly one-sided rivalry. The Colts pretty much always beat the Ravens as far as recent history goes. And, to me, it's just all about this Joe Flacco thing. I don't trust him. I trust Manning a lot more than I trust Flacco, although I trust just about everyone more than Flacco right now. I think Flacco will be good, but he's not there yet. Dallas at Minnesota kicks us off early on Sunday. This is a tough one because I swear to God I was going to pick Dallas. I was absolutely going to pick Dallas because there are a lot of things in this game that I like for Dallas. I think it's a good matchup. I think maybe they can run the ball a little bit on Minnesota. I think that both teams should be able to pass the ball all over each other. I think, I don't know if Peterson's going to be able to find much running room. I think actually both teams might have similar stats in terms of running and passing. I think the Minnesota pass defense is going to come back to hurt them. I think, Dallas poses some very threatening matchups on the offensive line the Minnesota offensive line versus the Cowboys' defense. And I am worried about Jared Allen versus Flozell Adams as well. So really, there are a lot of similar things I see in this game from both sides. Dallas is hotter than Minnesota right now. I was going to pick Dallas, but I looked around. Everybody's picking Dallas. Everybody is picking Dallas. It's become the big bandwagon pick. All my friends are picking Dallas. The people on the message board are picking Dallas. The experts seem to be taking Dallas. And there's just this big rush to jump on the Dallas bandwagon, and that's enough for me. I'm off. I'm taking Minnesota to win this game. I'm going to say 20-16. I'm sorry, but too many people like Dallas. It seems way too easy. The Tony Romo, Wade Phillips thing, it's going to be hard for me to trust those guys until they win a Super Bowl. I know that sounds, unreasonable, but that's what it's become. So that was enough to push me away from Dallas. I'm picking Minnesota to win this one. So I need an upset. I need a road team to win because odds are 3 of the 4 home teams win and we get 1 road victory. And that's where I'm going with this last one. The Jets visiting the Chargers. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm taking the Jets. I'm going to regret this because the game's in San Diego and New York has to fly all the way down. But you know what? I'm doing it. The Jets are the best team in the league at running the ball. The Chargers, not a very good run-stopping team. Chargers are okay stopping the pass. They're not shut down. Sanchez isn't going to be asked to do much anyway. And hopefully maybe he can make 1 or 2 big plays too. Maybe Edwards or Dustin Keller or whoever. Somebody. So I think they can move the ball on offense against the Chargers. And on the other side, Darrelle Revis has to completely take Vincent Jackson out of the game. If he does that, yes, the Chargers are going to be able to have Antonio Gates produce big. The Chargers are going to be able to hit Darren Sproles, maybe Craig Davis. I don't know what's up with Craig Davis lately. Guys like Malcolm Floyd or whoever. They're going to find other guys. But if Darrelle Revis completely takes away Vincent Jackson, I think it's going to happen, guys. I'm going to regret this, but that's my upset pick of the week. The Jets are going to beat the Chargers. I'm going to say 17-13. I'm going to hate myself Monday morning, but you know what? I need an upset. Why not? I'm taking the Jets to win, head to the AFC Championship game, and those are my picks. New Orleans, Indianapolis, Minnesota, the New York Jets. And that's it from me. Hopefully I do a little better this week. We'll see how things go. Have fun, everybody. See you later.